Don't panic. Episode number 189, recorded January 15th, 2018. This is not a drill. Hello, everybody. Welcome to this episode of Don't Panic, the technology podcast even the president wouldn't call a shithole. I'm Sean Jennings, joined as always by two guys. As Thin Lizzy once said, the boys are back in town. These boys are Dan Miller and Colby Rabideau. Gentlemen, hello. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday.
Hi, Sean. I'm not sure the president wouldn't call Don't Panic a shithole.
No, come on. We're all white, Colby, so it's fine. So, no. He likes us. He wants more of us. Anyway.
I see.
What's new? What's the haps?
I'm unemployed this week. And next week.
No. So if you're looking to hire Colby, send us an email. don'tpanicshow@gmail.com.
No. It's just temporary unemployment.
You're between employments.
That's the best kind of unemployment.
Indeed.
Except for the permanent, but subsidized by either an estate or the government or your lottery winnings. That's actually the best kind.
It's all the fun of a paid vacation without the paid part.
Right now. Yeah, the problem is, like, I have so much time to think about stuff now, and, like, I've just been thinking about, like, things I could, like, shopping. Today I was thinking about, like, furniture and, like, random crap, but I'm not getting paid for 2 weeks. So I can buy stuff, but it's just, like, more of a drain than usual. I feel like it's those urges are dangerous. Those capitalist urges.
It's healthy. It's natural, Colby. When you hit a certain age, you begin to get these urges. It's perfectly natural. Stuff. You didn't see the videos in health class?
I guess not.
Economic health class?
Yes, exactly. But that's now. Have you thought of any big highlights for your unemployment span? Any big stops? Any no shopping? Any big events? Any?
No, today I cleaned the kitchen. Tomorrow I'm gonna clean the bathroom, which is exciting because I haven't cleaned. It's the shower that I haven't cleaned the shower in a while, and it's starting to show. So I gotta do it.
It's a bit grody.
Yeah, just a little bit grody, but grody enough.
Mm-hmm. Now I wish CES would give me a shower cleaning robot. That would actually be useful.
That seems like weirdly achievable.
Totally doable.
I don't think so. I don't know. How would that work?
It has suction cups and it moves around and just like scrubs the shower.
Yeah, it has like a little dispenser. You fill it up like
it's
like an iron, but with soap, and then it just like squirts it out and scrubs it.
Yeah, it's basically like a real life Mr. Scrubby Bubbles from the
commercials.
I don't get that reference.
I kind of
it's one of the
scrubbing bubbles
bathroom cleaner mascots. It's not Mr. Clean. It's the other one.
Right.
No,
the other one.
I kind of see it as those, like, you know, those backyard, maybe when you were a kid, I don't know if you're familiar, the kind of like wacky waving water things where you'd hook the hose in. I want that, but in my shower. And you just hook that in and then it just gets your whole
that sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Wasn't there a thing like that? Like, you like hung it on the shower on the nozzle, and it was just a sprayer, and it would like spray around the shower.
That's a really good idea.
And you weren't there.
I think so. I think that was a thing. I don't know if it ever caught on.
I guess it mustn't have because we're talking about it. I mean, because we don't have one in our shower.
No, I wish I did.
Yeah.
Damn you, soap scum!
Maybe I'll see if those still exist and just get one of those.
You have like a good shower for it.
Yeah, because it's round and it has like permanent. Well, it doesn't have like a curtain. It's like
it's not very deep, so the spray is gonna. I mean, this really only pertains to the people who've seen Colbys Shower. So this is a very specific conversation. This is not for the wider. I'll be honest. This may be the most specific conversation we've ever had.
Targeted podcasts are the future of podcasting.
Is that what we're micro-targeting? Like one person who's like, God, yeah, I love Colbys Shower. Wow, this content's just for me.
Yep.
What ads could we sell against the one person who's interested in Colbys Shower? I guess scrubbing bubbles. If you would like to sponsor Colbys Shower, don'tpanicshow@gmail.com.
Indeed. Maybe we could get in touch with whoever builds the showers of that variety and like direct connect them to a person who likes that sort of shower.
God, we're so smart. Well, that's good.
Yeah. I'll be right back. I'm going to go find out which of my devices is dinging.
Okay. That seems like a good endeavor. While he's gone, Dan, you're muted.
Hello?
Hey, there he is.
Oh, weird.
Yes.
I thought I had muted myself, but the icon isn't showing up, so I thought it didn't work. And then I forgot that I had done it.
True story.
But yeah, now I'm here.
Good. Good. This is exciting.
I didn't. Let's see. I went axe throwing this weekend.
I saw. Oh my goodness, that looked very unsafe.
It honestly, it looked really unsafe, but it really wasn't. I mean, it was kind of unsafe. You had to sign a waiver to get in, but it's like you're not going to throw the axe up straight up and have it like ricochet off the ceiling and hit you, and you're not going to like throw it behind you.
Mm-hmm.
So also you do it two-handed, which going into it I wasn't imagining that you do it two-handed. No, you just do it over the head.
That seems like the aim would just be terrible.
I was very not confident in my axe throwing abilities. But my first actual throw, I got a bullseye.
Hey!
And for like the first 75% of the game, I was doing really well, and then I was just missing everything. But at that point, we had already won. In fact, by the time the next team reached the like score threshold, our team had already won a second time.
Wow.
Yeah, we were killing it.
Naturals. Now, is this is this a place that just does axe throwing?
Yep. What do you think it's called?
Axe to grind.
No, that was my team name idea.
Axes and O's.
And no one got it, Sean. No one got axe to grind. Like,
I would have been all over that. That's great.
Axe to grind? No. Axe to
Axe
no,
not.
It's called kick axe.
Yeah.
But our team name, because no one seemed to get axe to grind at first. The team name we decided on was Brooklyn Accent.
Okay, that's pretty good.
Yeah,
I like that. That's neat. I'm fascinated by the business model of a place that only you go to throw axes at.
So they have lanes, and there's, 8 people to a lane, and if you come with a group of 8, you get a lane for an hour. Otherwise, you're with a group of other people that make up the 8, each of which are paying $30, and there's at least 20 lanes. So
do they make you rent axe throwing shoes?
No, they do make you wear closed-toed shoes, but like, what's the difference between a flip-flop and like a pair of Toms when it comes to an axe? Like,
you're like, oh no, my Crocs.
I don't really know why they bother. I guess for like splinters, because you're throwing at a piece of wood, and when you walk up to get the axe, there's like wood shavings. Maybe that's why.
No.
But
I feel like if you drop the non-blade part of the axe on your toe, your closed-toed shoes would protect you. But if you drop the blade part, like, I mean, more than nothing, more than just bare feet.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So maybe for the next coffee and beer outing, we can all go axe throwing in Brooklyn.
Now, is this like?
Sounds amazing.
Do the pros bring their own axes from home?
You know, Sean, you're asking the same kind of questions that I ask.
It's like so bizarre. I would have never thought this is like a thing you could go pay to do.
Yeah. I went go-karting around Christmas time, and I asked my friend who took me all the same questions. And the answer is...
Shut up, Dan. No. We're here to go go-karting?
Right. But I'm very interested in, like, what is the competitive landscape for this sport? Like, how do people compete? Who are the best? How much of a gap is there between, like, the average person and, like, the best person? But no one was around who was an expert in this. In fact, even the expert who is the person like assigned to your lane, had only been like the place has only been open for a month, and he had only been axe throwing that long, basically. So he wasn't much of an expert.
Wow.
Yeah.
Whoa.
That's exciting.
Wow.
Yeah.
I have so many questions. Not even questions. I just want to see it. I want to see it. I apparently don't subscribe to whatever thing Sean saw it on.
Snoop Shoot.
You gotta read
Snoop
it.
Shoot.
You gotta watch his stories.
I don't want to watch his story.
Oh my God! Look at
Sorry.
he's out of work for a few days and already he's whiny.
Here's the feature that Snapchat needs, because I'm the same way. Is they need like here, you publicize, like, I don't read stories. If you want me to see something, send it to me. And then I just have a group of all of those people.
Yeah,
like,
who
okay,
get,
if
who
I don't
get
have
your
some
story as a Snapchat. That's what I want.
Yeah. Yeah. What a week. What a week for tech news.
Oh my goodness. God, Dane, you were just the king of transitions here.
I know. Well, I'm really excited to talk about one of these stories. It's relevant along so many axes.
Is it the
I
rolling
know.
TV?
Is it the what?
The roll-up TV.
No.
No. Is it the sales tax going to the Supreme Court?
No.
No. Oh, look at this. Colby, hang on, not to backtrack, but apparently, big thanks to Zach in the Twitch chat room. They're opening an axe throwing bar in Somerville, Colby.
Oh yeah, that was one thing. They serve drinks. Like the first thing
That's
you walk in
very
the door is
exciting.
like, "Do you want a beer?" And it's like,
No,
"Do I?"
not at all.
Well, that's great news though, because like we have options for the next podcast outing.
Summer of 2018, Union Square Urban Axes, a Philadelphia-based growing chain of recreational axe-throwing facilities that also happen to serve beer and wine.
Urban Axes? Come
Urban
on.
Axes.
You can come up with a better one than that.
We should open our own.
0 days since the last accident.
Oh,
Great
no.
name. I'm just throwing them out here.
I bet. Is that a thing you actually read, or is that?
No, I'm just coming up with names for these recreational axe throwing facilities that are fun.
Oh, no. They're about to open one in the town where I work. The Agawam,
We have so many options.
The Agawam Axe House.
Come on.
No shit. Opening soon. Look at this. Oh man, we're definitely doing a company outing. I'm very excited. Now you got me all kinds of excited. This is great. Coming.
Wow.
Oh, it says January. Look at that. The Agawam Axe. Oh shit, they got like pictures and. Oh, this looks very unsafe. Oh look, they have benefits. Would you like to know the benefits of axe throwing?
Yes.
Yes.
1. Stress relief. 2. Adventure. 3. Acquire a new skill. Because you never know when your new skills as an axe thrower might come in handy. Number 4. Build confidence. These are out of order. Number 3 again. Burn calories. Number 5. Meet new people. Oh man, I'm going to go on like a singles. I hope maybe they do singles night. Oh, look, they're part of the World Axe Throwing League. Okay, we're so far off. You can go to worldaxethrowingleague.com.
Wow.
Okay.
World. Axe
Anyway.
All right, here's another good one. Nothing in this life is certain except death and axes.
It's long, but it's good.
I've got these all day.
I like death and axes. Sounds like an awesome.
But I feel like the pun doesn't come across if it's just that. We'll have an exciting adventure.
I'm going to exit this conversation and move on to the tech news.
Nice.
Dan, what story were you super jazzed to talk about?
The Hawaii missile scare story.
Oh, the Hawaii missile. Guys, imagine, if you will.
Because Colby and I were in Hawaii. We can imagine it. We can put ourselves there.
That's right. You're sitting on the beach, enjoying a tropical fruity drink, warm breeze, cool waves. Your phone goes off. It says, emergency alert. Ballistic missile threat inbound to Hawaii. Seek immediate shelter. This is not a drill. How would you react?
So I almost had this experience because my friend who Colby met sent me the screenshot of her phone just a couple minutes after it happened. Yeah, it's like crazy. And I don't know what I would have done. It has never seemed more plausible than it does now. So I think, I don't know, seek shelter. But I don't. Maybe things like bomb shelters are more prevalent in Hawaii. I've seen them in New York, but I certainly don't know where my nearest bomb shelter is right now.
Well, interestingly enough, so this alert went out. It took, what was it? I read the numbers. It took about 38 to 40 minutes for them to issue the correction. But a missile, hypothetically, let's just say, had left North Korea. It would have taken about 32 to 37 minutes to reach Hawaii. So you would have been blown to smithereens before they would have alerted you it wasn't a drill. So that's about...
That's a strange timeline you're outlining here.
It is. Well, no, but it's just interesting to me. It's like they couldn't even correct their error in the same amount of time it takes a missile to go all the way from North Korea to Hawaii.
Yeah, okay, there are many things about this story that blew my mind. The first one was, to me, it seems like I've gotten these, I don't know what they're called, these like cell phone tower broadcast alerts. I've gotten them several times. Mm-hmm. And it never struck me as a canned thing. It always struck me as very bespoke. And like sometimes it'd be all caps, sometimes it wouldn't. You might even like get like the flood warning in 2015 and 2016 will be different. Mm-hmm. There'll be like an alert about look out for a white Dodge Caravan.
The Amber alerts.
Yeah, and those clearly aren't canned. So my first thought was, it's not like there's a pre-selected list of these because they happen so infrequently that that's not worth it. But according to the article, there are a pre-selected list. But then I thought, even if there is a pre-selected list, this doesn't seem like one that would make the list. In Hawaii, I could see volcanoes, I could see like tsunamis, maybe some sort of like terrorist event. But this one seems, even today, kind of out there. Not necessarily, unlike the Cold War, it's not like they're running drills for it like school-wide every year. So that was the first thing that came into my mind. And the second thing was how, like, if it's so easy to send out a canned one, how is it so much harder to send out a retraction? And then, of course, Twitter has been alight with speculating about what this interface must look like for someone to mistakenly do this. And I don't know if this is true, but someone found a screenshot of a similar system in another state. And at the bottom, you have a dialog box that you can populate with a message from a dropdown. And then there's a radio button on the bottom that toggles between test message and not test message. And then you press submit. You press submit either way. It's just which one of those radio buttons is checked.
Yeah.
Colby's laughing.
Oh, dear.
Yeah.
Bad UX, Colby.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe it says, I mean, I feel like it either way, it should probably pop up a thing like, are you sure?
Yeah, are you sure you want to send a message to every phone in the state?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
I've encountered these exact sorts of problems before, where someone took the entire site down because they upgraded all the databases at the same time when they thought they were only upgrading one. And the solution is, whenever you're upgrading more than one of anything to anything else, send a message like, hey, you're about to upgrade a couple thousand servers. You good with that? And the answer is almost always no, because almost always you're expecting no confirmation dialogue at all.
Right.
Well, but do you think that, like, confirmation dialogues as absolute? So whenever I press this button, I always get a confirmation dialogue. Is that an anti-pattern? Because in my mind, I'm always going to ignore if I know that whenever I press the trash can button, I always get a confirmation dialogue.
Yeah.
Or whenever I close a tab, I'm always going to get a confirmation dialogue. I'm going to learn to ignore it.
I feel like those things, like, I feel like if you feel like you always get a confirmation dialog for something, it means that you do this thing so often that you're irritated by all the confirmation dialogues you see. And in that case, like, maybe that's not the best thing to happen when you do that thing. Like, maybe it could like sort of do the thing, and then you could have an undo option or something that was like less intrusive, or like, I don't know, like you see empty your trash can, and it's like, okay, emptying your trash can in 10 seconds. Like, if that's actually what you wanted to do, you don't have to do anything. But if it is, you go click the button. Or like, you deleted this thing. Did you actually want to delete it? If you didn't, you can like undelete it right now. Otherwise, you can go about your business.
Oh.
I don't know.
Tough to do that with mass alerts, though.
Right. Well, I was gonna say,
have a cooldown.
Right. Like T-1 minute or something. Maybe that's not good, because it's important that it goes out quickly. So like maybe a mass alert is
clearly not so important that they can't do a retraction in less than 40 minutes.
True. Do you think this like ruins the I feel like when you mess up something like that one time, now you've ruined all future uses of this thing, where like next time, if this ever happens again and it's serious, like how many people are going to be like...
It would be one thing if the message was like hello or testing, but for the accidental message to have been a legit message, yeah, totally. I think it's going to screw stuff up in the future.
And it like specifically says this is not a drill. But it was a drill. Yeah. Why wouldn't it just say, this is a drill, don't worry about it?
Right. You know what they say, if you have to say it's a drill, if you have to say it's not a drill, maybe it is a drill after all.
As the great Admiral Akbar once said, it's a drill! No, anyway, that was very lame.
A Star Wars joke, Sean.
I'd say, oh, look at me, I'm Captain Nerd. Yeah, so we'll get the full story. It's under investigation right now. The full story, as you kind of pointed out, it seems very likely that they just checked the wrong box. And instead of sending the test version, they sent the real version. Took them an awful long time. As you mentioned, Dan, this is part of the emergency alert system, which was put in place a couple years ago as a national public warning system to sort of unify the country in how they do alerts across TV, radio, cable systems, wireless systems, satellite systems, etc. Interestingly enough, as you mentioned, Dan, a lot of parties have their hands in this. This can be used by local, regional authorities, everything from weather to Amber Alerts to obviously missile tests. Interestingly enough, on the national level, they have the ability to alert everyone in the country, but only the president has the authority to activate the national alert. Fun fact. Huh. And so that's where some of the issue comes in. It's quite a jerry-rigged system between all these different pieces. So I expect, hopefully, we'll see some kind of upgrade to prevent this from happening again.
I do feel like it would be an interesting thing, like, from a computer person perspective, like working on state and local government, like computer stuff. I'm sure it would be terrible for many reasons, but like if you ignorant of all the things, the ways in which it's bad to do that, in which it's unpleasant to be a person working on those things, which I can totally imagine, it seems neat. Yeah.
I just feel bad for whomever did it, because clearly it was an honest mistake. And, I'm sure at some point I know I have checked the wrong box and sent the wrong thing before. So that's kind of that's a tough one.
I agree.
But no missiles so far. It is only a test. Let's see. We've got other stuff here in the rundown, gentlemen.
CES.
Well, the good news is, or bad news, depending on your point of view, we covered most of it last week. We kind of hit like the most. Yeah, by the time we taped the show, most of the big stuff had been announced. I got a few more here in the rundown. Stop me if something sounds interesting. The Rollable TV, as Colby mentioned.
Yeah, we have to talk about that. Colby seemed to think it was the premiere story of the week. So
it's hot news, hot off the presses. LG has made a 65-inch rollable OLED TV. That's a 4K screen for you, Ultra HD. It is only a prototype. You cannot buy it. No word if you'll ever be able to buy it, but it does exist, and it is bendable.
Very cool.
That's pretty much it. The little animation of it's cool.
This TV seems to roll up. I think it would be cooler if it rolled down from like the ceiling or something.
Yep.
Then it's out of the way. You don't even have to have a TV table anymore, except for all the garbage that plugs into your TV. But like,
it's all gonna be wireless,
except for the wires.
They don't show the TV actually rolling up though.
They do somewhere.
They show it rolled.
Nah, yeah, no. There's animations of it. If you find the right article, the one I put in the rundown didn't have the animation of it, but but there is a video of it somewhere if you can find it. It's not very fast, but yeah, no. This would be like, talk about having the coolest home theater on the block. You push a button and this thing rolls down from the ceiling. Psh, dope.
It would be great if you like needed to pretend that you didn't own a TV for, whatever persona reasons you needed to not own a TV. But then you could have this rollable one.
Your secret TV.
And right. When you're sure your blinds were closed, and you were alone, you could unroll your secret TV and.
It's a secret just between you and the TV. No one else needs to know.
Right. Exactly. Maybe the consumer version of this will have like one of the talking assistants built in, and it could be your secret between you and them.
Between you, it's my little secret. My little secret TV. No one knows about it. My little secret TV. Yeah. So again, no word if you'll ever be able to buy it, but the last flexible screen they showed was like 4 inches, so quite an upgrade. Let's see. We also had at CES. You guys remember Razer last year? We talked about on the show their 3-screen laptop was sort of like the crazy thing they showed at the show.
Did they ever release that?
No, and I don't know if it was intended. If it was more of a mock-up than a thing they'd ever actually release. Though they certainly could. This year, Razer came back with another fun idea, and it is the Project Linda. I don't know why they call it Linda. Maybe it says somewhere here in the article. But the idea is that Razer, who kind of makes gaming accessories and what have you, they've gone ahead and made a smartphone, the Razer phone, and there's it's got a bunch of fancy stuff in it. It's very powerful and very expensive. But what's interesting is they also made a modified laptop. They also make laptops. Their Blade Stealth laptop. And what's interesting is you actually dock the Razer phone into the laptop itself, and you use the phone as the trackpad for the device, using USB-C to connect the phone to your computer. All of the hardware is powered off the phone. There's really no hardware in the computer shell itself. All it has is some extra storage space and extra batteries, but you pretty much power it just through that, and it runs Android off the phone.
So
wow.
Didn't we I don't know if this was us. I'm going to assume it was us. It could have been some other podcast or news source.
Just assume it was us.
Yeah. Let's right. Didn't when we were first talking about the touch bar, didn't we talk about why not the trackpad or I read that or something?
Yeah.
Somehow that
Apple
got into my mind.
There was an Apple patent a few years ago where which I'm curious what happens with these guys, but they patented, or at least filed for a patent on the idea of using a phone as docking it and using it as a trackpad. There's also been other versions. There's a link in this Verge article we're using called that Motorola had, the Atrix. They had a version of that. There have been other. No one's ever commercially released this. But we have seen sort of patents and ideas of this floating around.
Pretty cool.
And there's no word if Razer will ever release this. It's similar to some of their other sort of R&D type projects. The Razer phone is a real thing you will be able to buy. It does exist. It's got a 4K screen and Dolby audio, and it's really kind of fancy and high-end. But the laptop dock is purely theoretical at this point.
I sort of miss my Razer flip phone. That was a good phone.
Yeah. It was a cool phone.
I thought it was fine.
No, everyone I know, I never had a Razer, but everyone I know who had one, they always broke. No?
I don't think mine broke.
Yeah, I remember the hinges breaking.
That didn't happen with mine.
No, Colby was a responsible youth.
I think after the Razer, I got one of the phones with the slide-out keyboard, like where the screen slid up and the hinges on that broke. But
yeah,
alas.
don't miss physical keyboards on phones. That is for sure.
No, more than the physical keyboard, I don't miss the stupid T9 thing. I was never very good at that.
Yeah, that sucked.
I was so much time invested in real keyboards at that point already.
I don't even remember what T9 was. I know it was something to do with typing.
It was you had 3 letters per number on the numpad. And yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I still can't do it because they'll be like, call 1-800-DISCOVERY, and I'm like, just tell me the numbers. 'Cause I don't want to figure that out.
Right.
That is very irritating. Let's see other CES stuff. Dell. I don't think we. When was the last time we talked about Dell on this show? Ever?
Probably once.
Yeah.
We definitely talked about their Linux laptop at some point, right?
Yeah, that would be my only guess.
Seems like us. Well, interesting. I mean, they always announce new stuff and we don't talk about it, but I thought this was interesting, worth sharing. Dell's created a new app called Mobile Connect that syncs calls, notifications, lets you respond to them from your PC, and can even mirror your phone screen completely so you can navigate apps right from your computer. Now, it's primarily meant to work with Android. That's the actual where you can share the apps are in Android. They have an example of a call came in. You can answer it on your laptop and using mirroring, use apps right on the phone. What I thought was really interesting is Dell claims they can also sync calls and messages from iPhones. They didn't say how it would work. They didn't demo it, but they said it will be available, and Dell laptops will ship with the software moving forward.
That seems neat.
Yeah, I'm all about being able to do more stuff from my computer because I'm in front of my computer when I'm at work.
Yeah. Yeah, I think this is a neat option. Because there used to be an app that did this way back when I had I think my first Android phone. This was way back. And you could get a Chrome extension that would connect to your Android phone, and you could send messages from it. I don't remember the name of it, and it was cool. It was so cool, and I felt like it was the future. And then it never happened again.
Yeah, I remember that too. Back in my heady Android days.
Back my HTC Thunderbolt with HTC Sense V1.
Oh wow!
HTC.
When was that?
That was
that before college?
There were no Android. There was only one Android phone before college, and that was the first Android phone.
Yeah, that might be right.
I don't remember.
No, it wasn't the first Android phone.
No,
the first Android.
Well,
what was that called?
Yeah, it looked like a Sidekick. It wasn't called the Sidekick, and it was on T-Mobile. I know what you're talking about. No, Colby, I came into college with that was the LG Voyager, which was not a smartphone, and then for 2 years I upgraded to the Thunderbolt, and then I got my first iPhone after that.
Wow. I don't remember that.
Yeah, I didn't realize that you were ever an Android user.
Yeah, for about 2 years, early Android. It was fine. Actually, I like the HTC Sense stuff on there. It actually worked pretty well. I have it somewhere. I should try and dig it out and see if I can turn it on, see if it would even work. I'm one of those weirdos who
do remember a little.
I got to pull out one of these days for the show. I have kept every cell phone I've ever had, which is and it's it's too many, but it's quite funny to get them all together.
I still have my Firefox phone.
Yeah,
that's
got to be a collector's item. I was about to say, it's got to be worth something to somebody.
Sell it on eBay.
Yeah. I'm gonna keep it for posterity.
Yep. Frame it, put it on the wall. Remember it fondly. Last piece of CES news, HTC is refreshing its Vive headset with the Pro model. The Vive Pro, they're increasing the resolution of the dual OLED displays, a 78% increase in resolution over the current Vive. They also redesigned the head strap and added built-in headphones to make it easier and more comfortable to wear, and a better, more resizable head strap so it's more comfortable for wear for long periods of time. They've also added dual microphones and dual front-facing cameras, which are designed for developers to take advantage of. It looks less clunky, and they've added a blue color to make it a little more fun.
Do you think you can have the cameras on and just like piping through to your eyes so you can like view the world through your Vive?
I mean, with that resolution, it's like looking at the real thing. So,
I feel like it's definitely not. We look at computer monitors that are higher resolution than that.
That's true. That is true, but they're not strapped to my eyeballs.
That's true. They're so far away.
What I need to do is just take my 5K iMac and just like get it real close.
Just walk around with it strapped to your face in the office.
Just like a big.
Guys, I'm trying out VR.
It's like I'm living in the computer. This is great. My coworkers would not bat an eye for a second. They say, "Oh, just Sean being Sean." Now, the Vive Pro, the current Vive will remain on sale throughout 2018, and the Vive Pro will come to customers this quarter. Pricing will be available later. They also announced the Vive wireless adapter. It uses Intel's WiGig technology operating in the 60 gigahertz band to prevent interference and run at low latency. They won't be releasing that adapter until the summer, and there's no price at the moment. No battery life estimates, yes, but they think around 2 hours is probably the estimate, and competitors are priced around $299, so you can extrapolate from there.
I have a computer that can do VR now, and I thought about it, but I have no desire.
I want to rent it. I want to like have it for a short period of time. I don't want to buy it.
Yeah.
Someone would make. You know what? I should buy one and then rent it out to people, and I bet I could make my money back, because I'm finally at the point where I want to, because once you. The problems we've talked about this on the show plenty, but it's like I want the wireless and I want the headphones built. I want like sort of just the easy, streamlined experience, and this Pro kind of sounds like it's all basically there at this point. I'm just curious how expensive it's going to be.
Yeah,
my guess is very.
Yeah. There's nothing I want to do with it. I guess I could finally make my programming environment for VR.
There you go. They got Twitter in VR now, so I can live the terror.
Wait, what?
I did. No, literally. Twitter made an app.
You don't even have to pull down on your phone anymore. You can just lay on the couch and watch them come in.
You just stroke your chin.
Yeah, it's just a never-ending nightmare.
Why would you want that?
Twitter in VR?
Yeah.
I have no idea, because you should Google the pictures of what it looks like, but it's literally just like tweets just like in the air in front of you. Like it's like even Twitter does not have the world's greatest UI. It's even worse. It's even more useless. So,
did you ever see the episode of Futurama where they go on the internet and it's like VR, and they get on into the internet, and then they're immediately swarmed by like pop-up ads, which are like boxes, like pop-up ads that like fly at them. That's what that makes me think of.
I always loved Dan. I think it was Dan at some point on the show. You said you just wait until the internet knows everything about you, and then they'll insert really convenient, realistic ads into your augmented reality VR, where you know all of a sudden a Chevrolet car will drive by in the background because Chevrolet paid to put a car in the background. And I'm like,
right, and that'll be the trick. It'll be tough to tell what's real and what's not.
You know, there'll be a can of Pepsi, but they'll map Coca-Cola over it because Coca-Cola paid for the ad rights to your life.
Right, Coca-Cola paid for all the cans in your life.
Yep. Actually, I might be okay with that. Like, if they paid me, that's the problem. Who's getting the money in this situation? But if Coke was like, Sean, we will give you $5 a month.
Let me tell you,
but
Sean,
every can you look at will say Coke on it. I'd probably be okay with that.
Now, are you a Coke guy or a Pepsi guy?
No, I'm a Coke guy, so.
Well, now, what if the situation was reversed? What if it was Pepsi offering you that same amount?
I think really the only downside is just being very confused at what you're drinking, because you'll go to drink and you'll be like, oh, this is grape soda. This is weird. You know, like, oh, this is a light beer. I'm so confused. Everything is Pepsi.
That'll be the title of our sci-fi short story. Everything is Pepsi.
That's our Black Mirror episode. Right. Everything is Pepsi.
When we get to guest direct or whatever.
Yep. Thank goodness they don't let us do that. All right, let's see.
Speaking of guest directing, Colby, before the show you asked us about HQ. Have you now played HQ?
Yeah, I've HQ'd a couple times. The first time I HQ'd was on New Year's Eve when it crashed, which was fun.
That was the first time I proxy HQ'd.
Yep. That was also it was the weirdest time because I was with a bunch of people and several of us were playing HQ and we all had the volume on.
Exact situation.
Yep, very trippy. Like because everyone was watching the video, so it was like just a little echoey. That was pretty Black Mirror. I feel like doing that felt very strange. Tonight I did the best I've ever done. I got to question number 6, and then I got it wrong.
Nice. What was the question you got wrong?
It was about like Sylvia Plath's like pseudonym that she originally published a book under or something. I didn't know that.
You know, I read a trick online. You know, like the experts at HQ. Apparently, what they say is for those that middle group of questions, which are always the ones they try to trip people up, you should pick the one that you think is least likely to be the correct answer because they do that on purpose to try and trick you.
Yeah, I have noticed my like usual test taking algorithms for that I developed during high school do not seem to apply well to the HQ questions.
Yep.
So it certainly seems like they're setting traps for people like me. But I'll see. I'll report back in case if I ever win, or if I get bored.
Yeah.
I think one of those two is more likely.
Yeah. Yeah, you're gonna be so rich.
Now, is it true that when you win, you get like I don't know, somewhere between $2 and $10?
No, I was in a game. Because it's however many people answer all the questions correct, they divide the pot. I was in a game once where 3 people won and they split $1,000, so each got like $333.
Oh.
So it's just the more people play, the better odds it's going to get split a lot of ways.
Oh, that's strange.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I thought like there have been a couple people over like 1,000 people won.
Oh, sure. I totally believe that has happened. I mean, that game I saw was like one of the first, and this was when I was doing it before. I mean, not that I was
cool.
Yeah.
No, you were pretty ahead of the game.
Not
on this
that.
stuff.
I was like on that first wave, but even still, I mean, that was semi-early. So, yeah, I think it's probably much more difficult now to win any kind of big money.
Big money
in those games, yeah.
Big money.
Let's see. How about we can do one more story? There's really only 2 in here, or we cannot.
Okay.
Really, for me, the only other big story is the Facebook news feed.
Yeah, we should probably talk about
changes, which is kind of important. Facebook announcing that they are planning major changes to the news feed in 2018 to provoke, quote, more meaningful interactions, end quote. The idea is that they plan to promote posts that generate discussions over those that are passively consumed. Company executives say they hope the changes will make people feel better about using Facebook, following a year in which critics have warned of its negative side effects on society. CEO Mark Zuckerberg said in a post, quote, "We feel a responsibility to make sure our services aren't just fun to use, but also good for people's well-being." Now, the biggest impact from this change, likely on publishers, it's expected that sort of news organizations and those who publish a lot of content will see them sort of downvoted within the sort of within the algorithm, and instead see promoted more personal content, people-to-people type content, rather than those by third-party publishers.
Interesting.
So, to all the publishers out there who paid tens of thousands of dollars to get all those likes, good news. You have to pay more tens of thousands of dollars for ads to get people to see your product. You're welcome.
Got him.
Yeah. Well, okay, so I feel like there's two stories here. There's like the publisher story, and then there's the consumer story. So yeah, but I've seen this shopped around a lot, and I remember people saying this though when Facebook's really started to get into publishing with like the instant articles. By the way, do they even have instant articles anymore?
Yeah, they do.
Oh, I haven't seen one in a while.
Yeah, but I think from what I've seen, a lot of organizations, they're moving from instant articles to AMP, which is Google's version.
Right. Anyways, when they're shopping around the instant articles, a lot of people are warning, like, hey, be careful tying your business's profitability into one platform's willingness to show your stuff. And turns out they were totally right.
Mm-hmm.
So any other thoughts about like the publishing end of it?
I mean, as someone who publishes stuff on Facebook, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really frustrating. Facebook, all these brands and companies, I mean, they rely on keeping these numbers up, and when Facebook does this, it's a little disheartening. But I will say, I think I guess you just have to suck it up and take it. I guess you're right, Dan. I mean, you're kind of silly to rely solely on one platform, and Facebook isn't the only one who's done it. I mean, I'll look at our numbers, and all of a sudden they'll fall off a cliff for 3 months and then bounce back, and it's because Twitter was tweaking its algorithm, or LinkedIn decided to change how they display posts, and it's not an uncommon occurrence. Really, the biggest people are hurt are people who are Facebook only, and these companies exist, and they're all these like not HuffPo and but all these like weird content farms you've never heard of, who all your friends, tag somebody who reminds you of this, which is like my least favorite Facebook thing on the planet. Those are the guys who are going to get killed. Those are the guys who are really going to get hurt, and that's their business model. So, bad for them, certainly.
And consumer-wise, do you think this is actually... I'm actually surprised that Facebook did this from a business perspective. I think this took a shred more long-term view than public companies are typically capable of producing. I'm surprised they did it, but do you think people will like this Facebook more?
Well, I mean, I feel like there are two possibilities of why they're doing this. Like, one is like they're doing it to be I don't know, good citizens or whatever, or as a PR thing. But the other is that like maybe people's like newsfeed consumption has been going down, and so they're trying to get it back up, right? Like this could be a response to like measurable changes, not just like sort of public sentiment. I mean, if it were, the public sentiment is it's a nice two birds with one stone thing. Like, oh, we're doing something to like make things less bad, and also please keep using it. So it could from that perspective, it could be a bad sign. Or, I mean, maybe it's not like an indicator of...
I feel like, though, if it were a numbers thing, wouldn't they have changed it a long time ago? Or do you think it maybe started off good and then has slowly become bad? Like, people got sick of it or something?
I think once they kind of empowered these publishers to sort of not game Facebook, but to sort of overtake the newsfeed, I think they had to address it. I don't think it was ever their intention for it to turn out like it did. I mean, they wanted publishers involved, but I think to the point where people are no longer seeing content from their friends and they're only seeing news content, which just from personal experience, that's what my feed is. I very rarely see content friends post. I think they had to respond to that. I mean, I think, and maybe this is just the cynical me, but to look at this and say Facebook is doing this because they think it's the right thing is kind of, I think, just, kind of PR BS. I think everything they do to make money. And my only guess is that, they're looking at their numbers and they're seeing Instagram's eating their lunch and Snapchat is eating their lunch. And the thing about Facebook is they make their money on ads, right? And there's no debate that Facebook does really good ads. Their ads work. People click on them. There's no debate about that, period. The problem is you need people on the website to click on those ads. And I think they're very concerned about time spent on site. I don't know the numbers. I have a sneaking suspicion they are not great, especially compared to their competitors. Some of Snapchat's numbers leaked this week. People spend a lot of time in Snapchat. Way more than you would think for a platform where the content disappears. People spend a lot of time in that. And so I would bet you that they took one look at those numbers and said the feed is killing us because people aren't seeing things that are keeping them there. And that is interactive content their friends are commenting on and sharing. And I think they said, forget the publishers. We don't need them. We need users to click on ads.
Yeah. And it's the, I feel like it's easy to imagine how you make, one decision or other. I feel like the news feed is sort of an ecosystem, right? You go to see your friend's content and you click on ads and, I'm sure they're constantly tweaking the frequency with which I'm sure it's much more complicated than that, right? But tweaking how many of what sorts of posts you see and what posts you see and things. But you can imagine okay, you start seeing more publisher posts, so you start seeing less friend posts. So you start interacting with friends posts less. So your friends who are posting aren't getting as much feedback on their posts that they post. So they post less because that's the reason you were posting, was to get likes and comments and stuff on your content. And so you post less, and so you end up seeing even more publisher stuff because there's less friend content for you to see. And it could be a whole vicious cycle like that.
Yeah. I mean, Facebook, all their business model is collecting data on you, so they should know enough as to what people want to see and what people don't want to see. And from my personal experience to date, they have not done a good job of showing me what I want to see. So if this feed change means that I get to see more of the things that I actually will go to Facebook for, great. I'm all for that. As a publisher, it sucks, and it's a huge bummer. And I think, brands are gonna start to look to Snapchat and Instagram even more than they are now to share brand messages. I think in the wake of this, we'll have to see how the final numbers shake out. But I'm curious how it will impact their business models, especially as Snapchat is really heavily moving into ads and sponsored content and things of those natures. I'm curious if publishers will shift off of Facebook and sort of diversify their social content.
Indeed. Guess we'll see. Is this something that it's happened, or it's they just said this is going to be sort of happening soon-ish sometime, maybe?
More the latter than the former. Yes, you pretty much said it as much as Facebook did. Eventually, coming soon to a Facebook near you.
I see.
So keep an eye out for that. We will keep you abreast of any updates on the situation. Now, we are going to move along to Picks, the part of the show where each of us brings along something we want to share with the world. And we're going to start from the bottom of our little makeshift list. And Mr. Colby, what do you have?
Yay, my pick's a board game.
Woo!
It's called Pandemic. It's a very good board game. It's one of my favorite board games. I played Pandemic for the first time a long time ago. And it's fun. It's like a cooperative board game, so you're not playing against the other players. You're playing together against the game, which is super fun if you've never played a game like that. And I think this is my favorite cooperative board game that I've ever played. And it's great fun. You have to save the world from infectious disease.
So that's it's educational?
Well, sort of. I mean, it's educational from a problem-solving standpoint, I think. It's a great one, though.
Colby, have you ever played the Legacy version or heard of this?
So I've been playing the Legacy version with some friends for, I don't know, since last summer. We're 2/3 of the way through.
Oh wow! Okay.
Yeah.
I always wanted to do that.
It's very fun.
Very cool. Pandemic the game. Get it at a local games retailer near you. Dan, what do you have?
What's up? So you ever use Slack?
Occasionally.
Yeah, you know how you can. Maybe you don't know this, Sean. Did you know you can type like the colon character?
Oh, yeah.
You hate that?
I do, because I never know what the words are that describe the right things.
Well, for those of us who've been using Slack for a long time or are forced to use it all the time, we know what the words are. And it's much faster than doing it like even the Apple system picker way. It's hard to remember what the key combo is. The words are different. So there's this thing for Mac called a Rocket emoji picker, which lets you type colon in any text box and get the Slack emoji picker with all the same words and all the same emojis, and it just works anywhere. Well, except for it won't do custom emojis, although maybe you can add your own custom emojis. And then it sends them as the actual Unicode to the person on the other end. So it could be Facebook Messenger or a text editor or anything like that. Found it super handy.
Very cool.
Wowie. This is very exciting.
I knew Colby would be excited. Sounds like, Sean, you want no part of this.
No, you know what it is?
You don't send any emojis to emails?
No, I used to do that, and then I kind of got a little mocked for it at work, so I don't really do it anymore.
I see.
People didn't understand. Maybe it's my emoji game is off, but I would send, like, they didn't understand what I was going for. So
I see.
I gave also I send my emails on Windows, which is their emoji game is Outlook is horrific with emojis. So, not helping me out in that situation. But if you have a Mac, I think this is so very neat.
I'm so excited.
Very cool. Yeah, MatthewPalmer.net/rocket. But we'll have the link on the website along with all the pics at don'tpanic.io. Very cool. I will go last here. I got a CES pick, and it's very rare I do a pick of something I desperately want but won't buy. And it's called the Vesta board. And this thing
is
dope.
a hint for any people out there who want to get you something on your wish list.
My Don't Panic Secret Santa. This is the gift for me. What is it? It's you remember those old school flipboard thing where you'd have the big grid of all the letters and they'd flip, like at a train station or at an airport, and then the message would go and the letters would flip around, the little letter cards. Well, someone built a smart one of those. It is the size of a 42-inch TV. It's massive. It's huge, and it's got about 150 characters. 161 that and you can do all the letters, you can do symbols, and you can do colors, and it's utterly massive, and it's smart, so it syncs with the mobile apps. You can manually type a message, or you can connect it to IFT or your calendar, to Slack or to Twitter, and automatically update it, and it'll put up whatever message you want. This thing is so cool. Like, I'm not even joking. I'm so all in on this thing because I would have so much fun with it. It weighs 30 pounds. The thing is utterly massive, and you hang it on your wall, and you can display up to 161 characters at a time. Guys, how much would you pay for the Vesta board? Pre-order. Now, this is a pre-order, so you're getting a discount. You're getting 45% off the retail price if you order now.
$200.
I already looked, so...
Oh, if it were $200, I would buy one. No joke. I would put down the cash right now.
So what you're telling me is it's not $200.
No, Colby, you can get a Vesta board. Maybe we can split one. You can go in for $1,850, and that's a 45% off discount.
Oh,
that's the CES pre-order.
I'm so sad.
Ugh.
I feel like I'm kind of a sucker for the idea of things like that, sort of like analog digital mashups, right?
Yep.
Like, it's really cool.
I mean, it's a flip display. If it was just like a giant e-ink display, I would be much less I'm not going to get one, but I would be much less sympathetic of the price point.
Apparently, they put a lot of work into making the mechanics work. I don't know. I don't know how they did that, but
pretty cool.
But it is cool. I am all in on this. So if you want, Vestaboard.com, they're available for pre-order. Pick one up today. Buy me one.
And send one to Sean.
And please do. Send one to me.
If I had a business, I would totally do this.
Oh, this would be great.
Like a business where people came in and bought things.
Our cocktail bar.
Yes, every hour the drinks change.
Train themed cocktail bar.
Shit, dog.
Now arriving.
Oh, damn.
This thing is legit cool. Anyway,
now Colby, they have this in New York. I don't know if they have it for Boston. You can get your own subway sign, an electronic subway timer. In your apartment, anywhere you want. You could just get one.
Oh. I've never heard of that.
I will find it and I will send it to you.
Sold.
Neat.
NYC train sign.
Well, while Dan is looking that up, I'll remind everybody you can get more Don't Panic anytime on our website at don'tpanic.io. The one-stop shop for all of our audio, video, and pics every week are all right there on a great website designed by these two gentlemen. Also, links to all the places you can follow us at Don't Panic Show at gmail.com, at Don't Panic Show on Twitter. don'tpanicshow@gmail.com is our email address. We do the show live Monday nights at 10 p.m. Eastern. Oh, look at this. Oh, this is cool. Let me put this up on screen. This is this is Dan's New York City subway sign that you can just get for your house.
Yeah, and the cost is infinity dollars because they're sold out of everything. So.
Oh, that's so cool. I love gimmicky stuff like this. I'm such a sucker.
Very cool. I dig it.
Look at that. That's cool. Anyhow, so that's our show. I will remind everybody to check out some of our sister programs. Of course, Game Nights at GameNights.tv. We're in the middle of a great Dungeons & Dragons adventure. Colby's DMing for us. We're having a blast. We published some new episodes last week. We'll have more episodes coming this week. I think I won't say anything because I don't know where people are listening, but it's fun, and you should check it out at GameNights.tv. And I'll also remind everybody Up for Debate. At UpForDebate.tv, we just celebrated our 100th episode with a fun look back on some of our favorite and least favorite episodes, and we tease what might be coming in 2018. We've got some fun ideas coming up, including this week's coming episode, another entry in our book club. And spoiler alert, the book is terrible, so you're going to want to check out that episode at UpForDebate.tv. It's genuine. The notes, because I take notes when we do book or movie review stuff, so I can remember what I thought. It reads like the ravings of a mad lunatic, so it should be a good episode at UpForDebate.tv. But that's going to do it for us here.
What book did you read?
What book we are reading, so people can read it. And my favorite thing about it is how short it is. So you'll be able to catch up before we do the show on Thursday. It is Of Dice and Men, which I was told was a history of Dungeons and Dragons. It is not. Spoiler alert. Maybe I'll let you guys in on a few secrets after we're off the air. But all of you listening can get our full review on the Up for Debate. I'm curious, because maybe Matt will love it, and then we'll have something to actually debate for once. So that's something to look forward to. But we're going to wrap it up here. So on behalf of Colby, Dan, this is Sean. Thanks, everybody, for joining us. We'll see you next time for more tech news and fun times here on The Don't Panic.